Welcome back, everyone, to another IEN broadcast. The Indiana Esports Network is very, very happy to go ahead and bring to you some more high school SSBU action. We are taking a look at Blackford Varsity Smash going up against NM Warriors, and these two teams are going to be playing off in the quarterfinals matchup. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Orbital. With me is Cherry J, and we will be your casters for this crew battle. Cherry, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We're coming in with two heavy hitters here with Blackford Varsity Smash Bros, that #1 seed. They've come in as that really high team looking to make their way up into the semifinals, but the NM Warriors, they're currently going on a little bit of a streak. They were not predicted to win their last game, going up against the #8 seed, able to make the upset, win against them as the #9, and now they're coming in. Let's see if they can do it again and win, making their way to the semifinals.
Of course, and I mean, for NM Warriors, they were able to win through, as you said in the earlier stages, 2-0 against BHS Varsity, and to me, that gives a lot of hope, right? When you take a look at a team, when you say, hey, how far are you actually going to go? It gives a lot of hope, stepping forward and saying, okay, hey, we can get a win under our belt, but you know this one's going to be very, very tough. You know Blackford have gotten here through very, very comfortable means. They were able to fight through the regular split, I believe, fairly untouched in a lot of their matchups, so I'm very curious to see which characters they are going to be bringing out here and who they are going to be playing, as we are going to know our first matches, I believe, because, again, big shout out to Zotac, LOS Portal, and Landfest. We are going to be seeing the likes for NM Warriors. I believe we're still waiting to see which player they are actually going to be running for, but for Blackford, we are going to see Daniel stepping up here. So as the opener, Daniel will be trying to do their best for Blackford.
Yeah, I mean, Blackford, I think that if they can really get that early lead, they're going to be extremely happy. And for Blacklight, it's kind of the opposite. They need to start off strong. They need to win if they want that confidence, because as we know, each and every one of the players that's on a #1 team is going to be able to step up. They're going to be somebody who can make plays. They're going to be a player who really has that opportunistic mindset to be able to shut down their opponents and kind of just capitalize on every mistake that goes into it. In Orbital, I'm really excited to see whether or not we're going to be seeing like one of these players like really come out of the gate with potentially a 3-stock dominating here.
That would be a big part. And again, for those that are tuning in, make sure to capture all the action. If there's a funny moment that you want to see, make sure to go ahead and clip it. And when you do, give a big shout out to Zotac Gaming for making this broadcast possible by going ahead and doing hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag Zotac USA, because we want to give a big shout out to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Their incredible support has allowed us to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports. With that being said, we are underway with our first first game, first matchup here. 3 stocks on the board, and as you stated, Cherry J, it'll be very impressive. I mean, I think I've been here and I have seen runs of 9 stocks before. We've seen players really take over an entire crew battle, and it can be done. And honestly, for Blackford, I have high hopes. Whenever a team comes in as the first seed, I will always sit there and say, very, very high hopes of how well it's going to play. And in the single A division, I hope it has a lot of good qualifications.
Yeah, I definitely agree here. And just for our viewers at home who aren't as familiar with the league, the winner of this is going to be able to face off against that #4 or #5 seed a little bit later on next week. Not going to have any matches, nor is it going to be a week after that, but on April 9th, we're going to be seeing the winner of this take place again for a qualification to a final spot. So Blackford Varsity, if they can make that upset win and kind of just take this, or not Blackford, they're the ones that are in that #1 spot. They're the ones that are kind of in that driver's seat position since they did get that bye into this round. So if they can win this and then go forward, Blackford, they're going to be so happy to just kind of take that semifinal position, go off against Varsity SSBU Wabash, who's the likely winner of that next series, since as we remember from yesterday, a 4 seed going against a 5 seed is so common that 4 seed is going to be able to take the win. Orbital, I want your opinion here. Do you think we're going to be seeing a 2-0? Because I think that would be really dominant for Blackford if they want to get that confidence up.
I'm not going to lie. I think they can. Namely because their standings in the previous season in the single A division, they were 12-0. In all of their matches, they did not drop anything. They had 24 total points. They were able to kind of run the show. from start to finish. I will say, out of the points available, I believe they got 24 out of 24, so I don't think they dropped a single set within their matches, if I'm reading that correctly. The next closest was BDU Smash Varsity, who had 22 points, who were also 11 and 1. So something to kind of think about. This is, I think it's very possible to see a Blackford go ahead and take this entire victory here. So very, very curious. We'll go ahead and see how it plays out and see if they do bring that to a victory here and push themselves in to those semifinals. As you mentioned, that semifinals up against the 4th and 5th seed, I'm sure they're really not worried. Honestly, to me, it's which team is going to step up in their own favor to challenge Blackford in that.
Yeah, let's see whether or not that's going to even be Blackford to take it, because we can't count out NM Warriors just yet. They were obviously better than that number 8 seed in a 2-0. It wasn't very close, obviously, due to that. So if they really, like, I don't know. I don't know if you've ever played in a Scholastic League, Orbital, but I gotta tell you, teams suck. My team especially, I've played in high school esports, and I gotta say, I'll have games where I have to forfeit just because of the fact that my team can't make the games. So if NM Warriors, if that was the case for them, and they were a lot better than this 8 seed, and they're coming into the number 1 seed with a similar situation, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to win. But immediately, they're looking like that's going to be the case with some great combos coming out.
And of course, with the Palutena versus the Wolf, it's a whole different story. Palutena loves to float around a little bit, get a little bit messy with it, and make sure to try and keep you at range. But Wolf wants to get up close and personal, and so far we are seeing that the opening salvo did land in the Palutena's favor, but other than that, it's been kind of it has been in the Wolf's hands. And once again, if Wolf is being piloted by Blackford, that will be Daniel running that Wolf right now. And again, on Town and City, it's a whole little test of its own, I will say. On Town and City, there's so many platforms to work with. Palutena can use that to their own strengths. But when it becomes a single platform, it feels like Wolf gets such a huge bonus, and you can see it here.
A placeholder, they're doing a good job here, able to keep them away, but not for too long with a great dive straight on in. It's going to still be Blackford Varsity with this upper hand that you kind of need when you're playing against that lower seed. Going aggressively, but not collecting on anything just yet. But the Palutena going super aggressive and able to get them off the side.
Very nice stock number 1, and if they can continue that, that'll be a huge boon. Again, when in crew battle, first stock means quite a lot. So we'll go ahead and see if they can do more, but right now getting tucked a little bit further off stage. 124 is well within stock range of that first hit. If they're able to find that one touch, they're able to really kick it away and make sure to even things up here. But for the Wolf, you're struggling a little bit. Actually, closing the gap is a problem. Trying to go for that up smash, but it's not really going to work. Now you chase in again. The quick bullets from the Palutena, making sure they don't get a running start. And if anything you do, it's going to be a little bit more slow and steady here.
Daniel, they're taking so much percentage, but they're finally able to dish some out themselves, and a great stock to return. Unfortunately, not the best situation just yet, but the edge guarding is going to be manipulated, and the counter action with the Wolf still not able to get the damage they want.
That was a rough down smash to be able to be read into the full charge as well, pushing this Wolf into 94 territory, but a good grab and no platforms. That means the Palutena is on the ground and very, very vulnerable. What a
placeholder getting shut down.
A rough one. That hurts. That hurts a lot because you had the HP lead.
Orbital, this is insane because they were so far ahead. They were able to secure that 2 to 3 stocks earlier on, but now it's just going to be Daniel in this driver's seat, able to go aggressive, but now it's all evened up. Some great stuff coming out, making sure they keep this in play, but placeholder, they're not going to be in a good situation for long. The combos seem to be coming out, but they're still not going to be able to edge guard and keep placeholder off the match for too long.
I mean, that was just a great little denial tool as well. I'm pretty sure the Palutena was able to buffer a little bit more space in between. That is one of the things that Palutena does well, but a side smash brings it to a close. And I do believe that is Blackford to go ahead and take the stock lead. You can see them opening up very, very well with this Wolf. Granted, 1 stock up, but the Palutena fought pretty dang well.
Oh, look at that. That's going to be placeholder taking the stock of Daniel, but they can't be too unhappy. Even though they lost, they were able to get it to literally the best situation you could ask for in a crew battle, despite them having very little percentage gained. The Wolf was just kind of on that last stock anyways, so they're going to be up 1, but Blackford Varsity smash. Let's see if this Wolf it can get much, because Daniel, they had a good first game, but they started off slow. So if they start off slow in game number 2, then honestly, NM Warriors could come back and potentially just make it 9-9 and look really good coming into this.
Yeah, this is what I'm very, very excited, very excited about. The Wolf can make a lot happen, and when you saw that quick execute on stock number 2 on NM Warriors on the Palutena, it shows the strength of the Wolf itself. Wolf has a lot of quick spikes, and that was just a misread by the Palutena as well. You don't want to allow yourself to get caught on the ledge like that. You know the Wolf can spike you down, and you know it's kind of their own fault, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So now, take a look at NM Warriors, and they are going to have to sit there and go, okay, how are we going to play this one out? How are we going, and who are we going to use to kind of try and bolster this out? We want to use maybe a far range character, maybe a more projectile heavy character. If you have something like I would say if you want to get silly with it, a Banjo-Kazooie, I think that would do quite well. At the same time, you can go full on aggressive. You can just be very punctual like that Akasia out of nowhere.
This is a big pick. I mean, I don't know. I'm not totally familiar with Akasia into the Wolf, but I'd imagine Akasia could be really strong. And I know, at least like from personal experience playing into it, it's just such a good character in these crew battles because it's so difficult to kill once you're at that 100+ percentage. I'm really looking forward to seeing how good this can be.
Let's go ahead, set the stocks as needed, and we are set to go. Eyes out. We are going to battle our way forward. Quick grab, not going to land though, as already we are seeing a little bit of Dance of Death, and honestly, that worries me to a decent extent. Because right now, the Wolf hasn't been touched, and for a Wolf, this is great. Again, you are one of the heavier Foxes out there. Between Fox, Falco, and Wolf, all of you tend to have ranging weight limits. Fox is probably one of the lightest, but already we are seeing a hefty amount of percentage, and this is exactly where the Wolf wants to play. But that's a straight combo, quick little punches coming out of the Kazuya, so you're able to make a little bit of space. But again, 69% and now 78%. It's not a great spot that you want to be in if you are Ocean Man.
Oh no, Daniel's been putting up significant damage here, and they're not going to stop. 120%. The passive on the Kazuya going to activate, looking to utilize this to get some even more. The Wolf's going to be playing a little bit more proactively, playing back, not going to go for too many engaging plays, but the commanding grab, 59% brought. Still 120 is found though, going to try and utilize some of these ranged attacks, but the Kazuya getting a strong hit in.
Right now, though, it doesn't matter how strong the hit is for the Kazuya. You can't lose a stock here. If you lose a stock, it's actually very detrimental. Great punch. You're able to bounce that Fox and maybe get a streak across, but again, it's on the longer end of the stage. This is Daniel doing so well right now, keeping themselves alive. Both are in one-hit territory, and you waited just the right amount of time. Yet another knockup. The up air isn't enough launch power, but that's a chase. And is that enough? No, it's not. 163. All you need is a touch. Great kick from the ledge. You're still alive. Yet a neutral air keeps you safe. And I'm just watching Daniel. Daniel gets it! That is now 4 stocks for the Wolf.
Daniel is this playmaker right now. Blackford Varsity showing why they're the #1 seed. And honestly, Ocean Man, maybe they can get this, but right now it seems like Daniel has just been having such a good game, but they make me eat my words. And Daniel falls to the ground, but not going to lose it without taking a stock off of the NM Warriors.
Yeah, I think that's a big part. Again, anytime that you're able to win the opener and then get an extra stock behind, I think it's just a free win. Well, not a free win, I shouldn't say, but it is a comfortable one. You say, great, that's a dub for myself. I'm very happy about that. We were able to put ourselves up in a lead. And that's already setting yourselves forward. Like, now you actually have a stock advantage, so Blackford, again, as their opener, that's one thing, but now we get to see the King K rule. I love that Blackford knew exactly who they wanted to go for, and you meet beef with beef.
Oh, Kazuya versus King K rule. Now, this is going to be fun because Kazuya can play really well into this depending on how they do enter this matchup, I'm looking to see whether or not this Kazuya is going to really go for that ranged attacks, because that can be so good into something like a King K. Rool. Because your attacks are so much faster than theirs, you get a little bit more time to dodge out when it comes to that cannon. But right now they're utilizing one of the faster attacks and some great gameplay coming out immediately, utilizing these ranged attacks to kind of just keep this gap. And it's such a good idea coming in from Blackford Varsity to pull out the side of this King K. Rool to really bring it home. And NM Warriors, they're just kind of like liking to try and do something, but I mean, oh no, Daniel set the path, and now with Akazu at 2 stocks and 91%, it seems like they might just fall once more.
For right now, it's a whole test of its own. The King K. Rool stepping up, but great shield out of the Kazuya. And as you were mentioning, these projectiles, the cannonball plus the crown does so much work and allows you to cover so much ground that even if Kazuya does have the range, it's not going to be comfortable in their own as they lose that stock out. Great punishment from IHSEN, as they've been very comfortable in their opening match so far, 98. If they're able to maintain, if they're able to get a second stock here, if they're able to just kind of destroy the Kazuya, that would be a huge lead in their favor. So right now, for Ocean, man, you're like, dang, I can't let that happen. Gotta chase, gotta follow through. They're at 117. The King K. Rool can't be finished at 117 quite really, in my opinion, but what you can do is keep them off the platform. Now, how much are you going to be able to do? Step up, drag, toss. And that might be just a little bit too far. There's no way back, as that is it. That is IHSEN to now lead with 3 stocks over NM Warriors.
Oh my gosh, NM Warriors, they've fallen down, and it's all off of the back of this Kazuya. It's so good gameplay coming through on that last match especially. You would think that, like, I don't even know, this Kazuya just could not keep up, and I thought the King K. Rool would be good, and I was expecting it to really play well, because personally, I play against the Kazuya as a King K. Rool a lot. And I know that matchup is stronger for the King K. Rool in most situations, but I was not expecting this domination to come out where they just barely lost whatsoever.
It was a rough point. I will say that matchup, you can even see, I think, you can even see NM Warriors. They might be taking one of their breaks and just say, okay, gotta mentally reset. We know we're facing off against the first seed, the Kazuya. I mean, if you're on a different stage, I think I could see it a lot. We've seen Kazuyas on, I think, Hollow Bastion do very, very well when they have an extra platform to play in the center. But this one itself just seemed a little bit rough. So we'll see what they do opt for here. I like how they yell out, "Edges don't scare me." That makes me really, really happy. Just like, we're going to fight. Yes!
Oh.
Bring out the DDD! We are going bigger and better here.
King DDD, this is an interesting pick overall, because it's really something that can be so hard to pilot if you're not familiar with the champion. So I'm expecting them to be kind of stronger when it comes down to this gameplay, and I think King DDD could be a pick that can really help here, but it's going to be such a volatile matchup. Once you get to that 200%, one good hit is going to really be able to seal the deal, and oh my gosh, immediately this King K. Rool not going to be stopping whatsoever from that last game.
Nope, not at all. And it's King K. Rool is so oppressive. And here's the thing with about 2 bigs is what I like to call them. Whenever they are big, they are heavy, and whenever they're heavy, they are slow. Meaning, if you do not react appropriately, you can be taken for a ride very, very quickly. You don't have as many getaway tools as, say, some of the lighter characters out there, say like a Little Mac or a Fox or anything of the sort. So when you misread, when you go for maybe a big smash attack or anything like that, you actually heavily lose out, which is why we are seeing these percentages rack up. And right now, the King K. Rool utilizing that super armor as much as possible. Giga right now on that DDD is trying to make some magic happen. Remember, you are down quite a few stocks. Quick punch, though, as again, that spike ball is doing decent amount of work. Shield is low, though, as you get a quick twist and turn. Ooh. That might be a great knockout, but no, again, King K. Rool has so much follow through, as that's the stock. DDD finally finding a response at 137.
Like, even though Giga Gangsta was down at the start, I was really impressed with how they were utilizing their ranged attacks, and I think that kind of just goes to show, never mind, alright, I thought they'd be able to get a decent amount more percentage off, but honestly, I think if they can bring this to what would be the word here? A 6-4, 6-5 best case scenario scoreline. I would not be surprised if NM Warriors can take this set at least, because this King DD has been so strong here, at least in game number 1, where they're able to take their first set. And I mean, they look good. It's just the fact that King K. Rool is such an impressive character where you can really attack from all angles. And oh my god, the combo from shooting them out of his gun into the other gun. Holy, this King K. Rool is good.
I mean, they have been in a very comfortable position yet again, and at this point, it's probably going to rack up to about 120, 130 yet again on either end before we see another stock go down. But at this moment, you're playing with a lot of extra time. Remember, you are multiple stocks up. You're still maintaining that 3-stock advantage. You really don't have to worry too much. We talked about this before in the high school division. Some of these matches go very quickly, as that's a toss at 86. That is a wild stock to take, but that's just one of the benefits of Town and City.
I'm not going to lie to you, Orbital. I think that this might just be GG's. I mean, NM Warriors, their second to last player, already down to stock, but oh, eating up the shot, and it's going to be bouncing straight on over. Blackford Varsity going to be at least a little bit down, but it's still 1-1, and you only have one player after this if you're the King DDD. So Blackford Varsity, they have 2 more players that they can utilize. It seems as if this 94%, that's going to be the hit from the high ground, looking to get him even lower, shooting it out, eating everything up, and throwing the kitchen sink. And that's going to be Blackford Varsity taken down to 2 players remaining.
What a bully moment right there, Blackford. That is going to be the King K. Rool falling, and yes, the DDD works wonders. Giga doing very well. But remember, there's so much more to be played. I hate to say that. I really do. And DDD needs to be given the respect they deserve. But Blackford, they are still up by 2 stocks, which can become a third very quickly. And M Warriors with the DDD player out means they only have their anchor left at the end, who may have to chew through 2 separate players, which is going to be very dangerous for them. Oh my god, is that
my god.
Is that another K? Oh my god, I love this.
Honestly, I don't love that. I think that after you're playing King DDD and you have experience playing against that King K. Rool, going up against another one is probably going to be one of the easiest characters you could play against. But let's see if Giga Gangsta can really get the win here. They're going to be down to 1 stock remaining. Obviously, taking 1 stock of your opponent is going to be the most ideal. Taking a second, going to be amazing. And, you know, if you're able to win this, that would be fantastic if you're NM Warriors. And it seems like they're already starting off to a good start on the low ground, able to get some really strong damage, and not going to be stopping, but the Crown will hold their presence.
At the start here, as you mentioned, a little bit of a bully, but again, both have rebound works. But at the moment, you can see this new King K. Rool is saying, okay, maybe I play a little bit differently and go for a little bit more of the arrows. Remember, already the CD is down on the last stock. All you need to do is go a little bit more aggressive, and you will take that win. What a back air. Again, these fists doing work, and now you're going to try and chase for that finish. It's not going to work, but you chase again. 149, don't get the sweet spot, but it's close enough on this edge platform, and you get the grab and toss. And that'll be at Blackford. New King K. Rool, same old wins.
Look at that, not going to take anything. And that's going to be the King K. Rool of Blackford Varsity. Just taking this early win, putting NM Warriors on their final player. And that is exactly what you want for Blackford Varsity. Like, they are the #1 seed. They want to prove that they will not have any opposition. Let's see if NM Warrior has one of those players who really can just, despite all odds, take the win. Because 6 stocks, it's not impossible. That's what I'm going to give them.
It's not impossible, but it's highly improbable. I will be honest here. Especially when you take a look at how Blackford have such a strong position already. They're a team that has sat at the top of the leaderboards before. Yes, bring out the King K. Rool matchup. I'm going to lose track of who's who, but this is going to be NM Warriors on the right side here. Again, Silver King K. Rool, going to be Blackford, and then this new King K. Rool, someone on NM Warriors.
Kame? going to be our fourth and final players for NM Warrior in this first set. Now, this is the player. This is all the pressure on them. Instantly taking a little bit of damage. Instigation comes through from the side of Blackford. Going to be forced out and going to look for more. They're going to be able to get everything they could possibly ask for. And Blackford, they want to get something, but it seems as if they can't really compete with NM Warriors. And oh, I'm going to be eating my words. There's going to be the great eating up in the wind coming out from the cannon, looking to get something more, but the belly flop.
Yeah, remember, no 12S for you is going to be that, ooh, that was unfortunate. That one in gold, and that is for NM Warriors. Right now, they are playing on their last player here. And it's a Ricochet back, as that's a stock for stock right now. Difficult bounds overall, but of course, Mr. Man, again, the second King K rule for Blackford. I wonder what exactly they're going to play with here. It's going to be a little bit touch and go. Quick slam into the ground. Great grab, by the way. We have to keep track of that one, but these 50-50 hits right now are working out in favor of the Blackford King K rule. This is going to be trouble as it's another cannonball Ricochet as both throw out their projectiles, but the crown does a little bit more work. There's the counter reflect.
Oh, good damage instantly coming out. 112% found, and that's the stock. NM Warriors. One remaining stock backs up completely against the wall. 5 in their opponent's favor. 121%. Let's see if they can extend that a little bit longer. It seems like the answer is just going to be yes. Not hitting the cannonball. Instead, going to hit it with the back kick. Blackford Varsity, they're down to 4, but still needing this stock, looking to get the combos, and it's gonna be super good to get this good damage off.
I mean, yeah, already opening up with a strong 85%. They needed a bit more behind there, and that's gonna be a free fall down, trying to create a little bit of space, but great edge guarding techniques here. Quick uppercut, though. This might be the chance to fight back. Maybe get a quick roll. Edge held once again, and there's going to be the back here to finish. Very nicely done by NM Warriors, as now you are down to the final Blackford player.
NM Warriors, 1 stock versus 3. The coveted, the promised 3 stock against 0. If you can make that happen, NM Warriors securing the first set of the game. I mean, they're already showing promise, able to force Blackford Varsity on their final player. But right now, this is where it matters. This is where everything comes down to it. Let's see if they can do it, Orbital.
I mean, it's going to be a tough task moving forward. NM Warriors, they have a very, very rough road ahead of them. I mean, you just fought 2 King K rules. I don't know if the King K rule of your own was true or not, but yeah, this is what I kind of expected when you want to go a little bit silly, when you want to go really annoying against the King K rule who wants to stay so close to you. It is going to be an Isabel coming out to the home turf of Town and City to close things out in Blackford. All they need is 1 stock.
All right, this is one of the characters though. Isabel, this is such a strong character when it comes to that final player. I've seen this time and time again in that collegiate high school league where you will get those Isabel players who are just so dominant and will find everything they could possibly want and just kind of be that last remaining player to dominate the match. And we're seeing it kind of, but a little bit of pushback will be found. It looks like NM Warriors, they're not completely done, but let's see. Blackford, oh, trying to hit the shot with a cannon, not going to be able to do it.
Oh, but a great slam down is a stock away. And here's the thing, Isabel is great with these projectiles, and really that first stock, all you're really caring about is just creating a lot of damage there. Grabs the crown, actually, which is one of the more frustrating parts. And I don't know if King K rule actually gets that back because it's tucked away. Now you go ahead and try and toss it. It doesn't land in your favor. There, it's actually hucked out there. So this is actually a great play here. You steal it away, which seals away one of the King K rules talent pools. Of course, it does come back. It's not almost impossible, but a great super armor move means this Isabel is in a really tough spot. And that's a spike. All of a sudden, NM Warriors have a chance. This King K rule is doing magical work. He has to get a quick slam once again. 36 and counting. The stock is almost done. Isabel has to fight back. And it's a back here to finish into the spike. It is going to be a stock finisher. NM Warriors as they go ahead and complete the reversal.
Oh my god, the double spike on that second and third stock. A crazy ending to our first set of the day. NM Warriors gonna take that in a stellar fashion, bringing this number 1 seed to their knees. NM Warriors doing this absolutely dominantly at the end there. 120%, backs up against the wall. I was thinking to myself, this is GG's, we're gonna go next. Maybe NM Warriors can bring this to a set 3, but oh my lord, did Blackford Varsity get destroyed there?
That was... Honestly, that was Blackford getting a little bit cheeky. The Isabel can do work, but you tried to go, melee versus melee into this King K rule, and you allow them to body a much smaller character. So I think Blackford, they overstepped the lines a little bit. You can see here in the early starts, you saw them start to take some slower advantages, and they were able to make up a lot of ground. But just at the end, that stock right there was one of the more pivotal moments where we just went, dang.
Dude, please tell me we have replays of that final game, because that was potentially my favorite thing I've ever commentated in Smash Bros. With how just absurd that King K rule was able to get away with that on the Isabel. I mean, it kind of begs the question, is the Isabel that last kind of anchor player, or is this like somebody else? Because I'm a little bit confused on what happened there.
Yeah, it was maybe just a little bit of a, hey, we can go for it. We can see what happens. And, you know, it didn't work out. You have still a second set to work with. It's not going to be the worst in the world, but you're not out of this just yet. And if I haven't seen Blackford before, but if you're sitting there going, hey, I want to play, I want to fight it out, you still have another one. All you have to do is just win. I know that sounds really easy, but for Blackford, that's all you really have to do. For NM Warriors, you have to know that you got kind of gifted that end of the set. Of course, you're going to try and make that more of a reality and say, this is going to be perfect for us. But I mean, I'm amazed that we had 3 King K rules between all of these members, and that, to me, is going to bring a lot of fun magic even further. And before we go any further, I do want to mention LANFest, another big name that we want to give a big shout out to for the reason why we are here today. LANFest, of course, building healthy communities through gaming with 23 chapters across 18 states and over 150 events a year. If you are an SSBU player and want to get in on some of these events, go ahead and check out lanfest.com. That is LANFEST.com to find an event near you.
Look at that. There's going to be the ending coming at us. The showstopper of this. First, we have the body slam. Then we have this upcoming spike here. Oh, not here. Actually, it's going to be a little bit farther. There's going to be bringing him up into the air, hitting him away. Still, the Isabel has the ability to get back in, but the down punch to secure game number 1. I mean, Blackford Varsity. They might want to switch up some players. They might want to switch up something. Obviously, each of these teams, they have 6 players on their designated roster. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do end up seeing some switches when it comes to the people in charge of the games. But, I mean, right now, oh my lord, Blackford Varsity, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting them. They were down 6-3, and then we just saw them completely dominate.
Yeah, this is NM Warriors really kicking back. Blackford now have a second chance, and again, for NM Warriors, they've had a very fun time so far, but namely their opening was a little bit lackluster. So here into the next set, I am curious. I want to see if that Palutena can actually come away with the early stock victory. The Wolf for Blackford was very, very good, but namely again for NM Warriors, I want to see if the Palutena. I think it was gosh, names escape me. Let me double check that. But the Palutena did very well in creating space, and if you want to have a good opening, Palutena could do very, very well. And so I like the fact that they opened with them. I want to see if they continue with the Palutena. I think it was, if I remember, it was Placeholder. That's who it was.
Wow, this is absurd. I mean, what do you think? Do you think we're going to be seeing changes to the order for game number 2 here? Do you think we're going to be seeing it stick the same? Because I wouldn't be surprised if we stick the same. Obviously, that King K rule from the side of NM Warriors, that's definitely that anchor player you want in that anchoring position, because you always want to give the rest of your team a little bit of play time, which seems to be the NM Warriors philosophy, which I do have to commend them for. So Blackford Varsity, let's see what they do opt in for, because there's definitely a lot of options. You could try and put the Isabel towards the front of your lineup, try and get them a little bit of early damage. There's a lot of other options you could go for, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they are going to end up trying to adapt into. If they do make any changes to their lineup, maybe you want to avoid the King K. Rule matchup, because obviously it looked good, but it wasn't able to secure. Well, actually, now that I think about it, maybe you do want to keep that, because obviously that King K. Rule was really strong into the opposition from NM Warrior, since that was a really good King K. Rule into an Isabel matchup. But unfortunately, the King K. Rule into King K. Rule looked a little bit worse for him.
It was one of those moments of, oh, I actually had to fight myself in this instance, and maybe he got a little bit cheeky. I think I think we were still waiting for who that second King K. Rule player was, which we still don't have the name of, but I think it was one of those moments that you were more surprised that it came out. Two teams having double heavies is very interesting, and the fact that we might see it again, just because I believe both teams do have a mixture. As we do have information, it is the King K. Rule once again, and M Warriors are opening up with the King K. Rule, trying to close it out neatly, but a Pyra Mithra to come out is a wild turn.
This is not the same King K. Rule. This time, it is going to be a different King K. Rule coming out from NM Warriors. It's going to be Nonum SMC. Last time, it was Kame on the King K. Rule for the fourth player. This time, though, Blackford Varsity Smash,
right.
They're going to be opening up with Zane on the Pyra Mithra.
Yeah, I didn't even clock that. I myself was like, eyes turned from the earlier King K rules, but you're right. The Pyra Mithra coming out for NM Warriors, and we've seen Pyra Mithras actually do a decent amount of work before. They can hit a pretty hefty blow, but it's not all fun and games. Again, you once again are one of the lighter characters, so the fact right now that we are getting this King K rule messing around out here in the front end, I'm gonna be so curious how well this opens up with. And if we're going to see more, great Fire Blade to go ahead and answer, but the grab on the top rungs means that this could be a stock very quickly.
Yeah, phenomenal shield as well coming in from the King K rule to dissipate that Fire Strike, and some good damage, able to get them 2 triple digits. A good combo coming in with the crumble from the top ropes. It's going to be a cannon, shocking the Pyra Mithra into oblivion, and NM Warriors, that's going to be really, really upsetting for them. Now that they are down stocks, obviously they are used to it, because this was how their first game opened up with them losing. But, okay, NM Warriors, they're still showing at least some kind of promise with this Pyra Mithra, able to get their opposing King K rule into a good amount of percentage, but they're still at 80% themselves. They're going to be able to close it out, though, switching over to the opposite forms, but they're going to bait us a little bit with that.
I think for right now, you are just kind of testing the waters. The Pyra Mithra side of things is so interesting. I mean, Mithra has so many great large-scale attacks, but the Pyra has a lot more firepower, and that's what you're kind of watching for. Right now, we are seeing Blackford continue on with kind of their aggressive stance, and one of the more set-up moments. Ooh. And there it is, a quick swing off the side, as that is easily another stock. And right now, Blackford showing off a little bit more of their talents. One stock difference right now.
And the Warriors, let's see if they can bring it back. Obviously, now that they are down, last stock remaining, they're evening up it, but oh, the grab combo with the shock of the cannon. Looking to go for more, but it's going to be the low ground hit towards height, able to connect, and still, it's NM Warriors. They're needing to get some kind of change. Diving in, looking to engage, but a good grab comes through, switching over to the fire form. Not going to be able to edge guard well enough, but still pushing forward, trading blow for blow. But oh, the fire strike able to connect at least a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. Triple digits will be reached, but the fire blade keeping this King K rule in the air.
I think the juggle is great, but again, you're taking too much damage here. You have to play the last stock perfectly if you want to bring this back in your own favor. Blackford currently do have the advantage. Right now, I like that call. Just guard in the center. Don't do anything else. And that's a snipe with the cannonball. I haven't seen that in ages. Well played here by the King K rule main.
Oh, Blackford Varsity taking a early lead. 11 stocks remaining. NM Warriors forced onto their second player already. And, I mean, I didn't love how that played out, but I think Blackford, they did a great job at just kind of keeping the distance, and they want to be able to bring this to a third set. And honestly, Orbital, I think there's a strong chance they're going to be able to do it with how they started out.
I think they can as well. This is, again, Blackford just kind of, I think, saying, okay, we need to try and play smart and comfortable. We don't want to get lax towards the end, even if we have a 3 or 6 stock advantage. Play it smart, play it well, and you'll be able to make your own. Now, here's the deal. This is a whole different story. Incineroar now, a heavy blow. This is just meat tanks versus meat tanks. I love this.
And I want to give you a little bit of insight here, Orbital. This is going to be the Incineroar of Placeholder, switching characters from the previous set. They were that opening player. Instead, this time they're going to be that secondary. So let's see if they're a little bit stronger, more proficient on something like this Incineroar pick, which they already seem to be showing us a lot of hope for.
I think already they are showing, but that's going to be a quick punch. You didn't catch the ledge, though, so you don't get to body them out. And here on Small Battlefield, it's a whole different story. This King K rule trying to use the smalls, but there's Ilaria. Doesn't really send them off flying, and that kind of hurts, but might be close enough. You try another grab, but it doesn't work. Now you get the back throw into the spike. The Shiner feels great. And Placeholder doing so well right now. Another twist and turn. Great damage, 21. Looking for a bit more. Another grab as the Incineroar is doing so well. Placeholder looking so different here. Yet another toss.
Oh, Placeholder. They're just utilizing this great grab and just kind of keeping them in place. But still, we're not seeing Placeholder being able to get that damage you so desperately need. Maybe this is going to be it. Some good combos coming out. Will they be able to ledge guard this well enough to find the kill? Not going to happen. Completely evened up percentages-wise. Still evened up 105, 105. Finally, we're going to be seeing Placeholder take the advantage. And that's the kill. Evening it up. 3 stocks remaining. And NM Warriors still going to be able to match them.
That was insane. Again, Placeholder in the earlier stages didn't really seem to have that much in their tank, and yet now coming out with an absolute blast. And I love it. I love every single moment of it right now. This is getting a little bit different. This is getting spicy here. So right now we have identified that one King K rule is out, right? That was Zane previously in the silver. So Isaac could still be back there with a King K rule of their own if they so wish. But this Incineroar, I want to see a little bit more of. And yes, when you talk about heavies versus heavies, Incineroar is one of the best. Again, you do so much damage and you're still pretty fast on your feet. You can take over a stage just as well, and that's what we saw them do. Now moving next, do you go small? You do, so giving a chance back for Christian on this Isabel.
Okay, let's see whether or not this Isabel will be able to redeem themselves. Honestly, this could be bad for them, though. They had such a bad performance. Like, no offense, they need to be able to reset the mental, and I think if they can do that, this is going to be a great player to kind of be able to flip the script and take this next game. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it, though, because as we know, the King Cave rule was one of those players that is so proficient. It seems like this Isabel is already being able to readapt from last game, and they're showing a lot of promise, some great fishing hooks to keep this gap wide open, not allowing this Incineroar to get close enough to be able to utilize their best abilities that we've seen in game number 1 with this Incineroar. They're so comfortable utilizing.
I think already we're seeing also just a shift in mentality, as you mentioned, but the Incineroar, one of the big things is you can't be floating off the stage too much. However, if you get the good hits, all of a sudden, you get to be a much larger menace as well, blocking that grab and now layering them off. And that is going to be the stock back, as that's a huge turn. Great job by Placeholder. You're now stepping into the realm of advantages for your team, and you get a perfect up B as well, but that's going to be the toss in the stock off. You were able to layer in 40%, though. That is doable.
Oh, and early damage already going to come out. Incineroar wanting to keep the advantage, and they're doing a pretty good job. 50% already found. Once you get to that 90, as we saw, they're getting a little bit stronger when it comes to being able to really finish off their opponents, and that kind of dismantlement is what you exactly need to worry about if you are the Isabel. And they're doing a pretty good job at just kind of evening it out, kind of limiting any of the success, and so far they haven't been able to counteract the aggression just yet, but let's see if they are going to be able to just flip the script soon enough.
This is I love the fact that you're talking about the script, mainly because the script has been rewritten a few times right now. There have been some edits, some revisions, and right now that revision is saying the wrestler will win it here, just as John Cena has turned heel. Maybe the Incineroar can come out on top of the squishy matchup. And that's going to be dive bomb in. Quick chase doesn't land the hit, so the Isabel isn't too happy about this mix, but is able to get back to center stage control. Quick double jump. You're back on stage. What a stomp, though. Into the stock. What a catch and a half. The Incineroar is definitely going places.
125, gonna jump back on in, but it's going to be completely dominated. One stock versus one stock. Blackford Varsity. Let's see if they can do it. NM Warriors are looking good. 50% already found. Make it 60 orbital. It seems like Blackford Varsity doesn't really have what it takes to be able to shut down this Incineroar just yet. They've been on a tear and they want to keep it going, but it seems like finally Blackford's going to be able to end that streak.
I mean, they're finding a little bit of a mix of their own right now. Quick punch to the center, and it's going to be another Lariat. It's in center stage, though, so that means that you still have a chance to recover, but this recovery might be dangerous. Yet another Lariat option. Try and chase, knee not going to land, and now you wait, but what a catch! That's going to be the finish! Make it happen! Oh my gosh, you're still alive! I thought it was over. Isabel was so squishy, and now you're going to fight back 70%. This is doable. I thought that was over. Isabel saying, I am the owner, but you're not on Town and City anymore. Good up air to try and launch. Tries to send a little bit of a Hollow Man out, but it's not going to work. And you're coming down to the last
hit.
minute. Yeah, one good hit could be the finish. No pop to work. But I think that might be enough. Quick jump. You're back on the edge. Who's going to get it? This is wild.
You can tell this Incineroar is playing safe, but safe isn't enough. Orbital, look at that comeback from Blackford Varsity, and they're going to be able to take the advantage.
Honestly, though, it was a very small difference. I want to say Placeholder has impressed us. Had the Palutena last time, Incineroar this time, and has shown up. Took a grand total of 4 stocks, which is huge. Now we're back pretty much to a safe bet. You take a look at NM Warriors and you say, okay, how are we going to play this one out? Who do we send next? We say, I mean, it's not as bad of a difference. We could have seen a 3-stock difference right there if we're going by the metrics of a set number 1. So I like what Placeholder has done.
NM Warriors, they are a little bit lower, but as we remember, they do have that, I was going to say they do have that King TDD and that King K rule still available that have been so good throughout this series so far in the number 1. And I mean, if you told me at the start of this series that the number 9 seat would be in the driver's seat, the players to be the ones to really come forth and look like they are that best team in the league, I would not have believed you. I would have said Blackford Varsity Smash, they're almost definitely winning this game. But by the looks of it, that's just completely not the case at all.
Sometimes regular season doesn't matter. Sometimes it's all about the playoffs, and that might be the big mix. Again, when you have so many players like these two squads do have, sometimes you just got to be really watching the play. But right now, this is no mistake here as another spike ball comes out, but that has a lot of damage racked up on this King DDD almost immediately. So for the Isabel, you're just saying, let's play safe. Have a little bit extra, but you step into the big man once again, and you float down. Once again, great recovery to come out here. You go ahead and pocket that spike ball for a little bit of a later use. Quick little slingshot, also just trying to make a little bit of space for yourself. Just gonna roll down. Who are you actually gonna look for? And there's the hit. 1-2 piece, as it is the DDD to go ahead and even things up.
Giga Gangsta taking it back, evening it up. 6-2-6 orbital. This is the game to watch. Blackford Varsity Smash, as we remember, in a 3-6 scoreline what we saw before, they did sell the bag. This time, I don't know, if I'm them, I probably don't want to 3-stock this King DDD, because that would be unfortunate to see a repeat of last time.
Well, there is that other King K rule coming out here, so this is going to be a quick, interesting chance. Both Isabels are gone, and remember, if we're going by what we saw before, the last player coming out should be Daniel with the Wolf. So I am curious why they swapped around with the opener being one of the King K rules and then the closer being the wolf. So we'll see how it goes out. But right now, this is a straight up 3v3. We're pretty much back at net zero. As this is the DDD, might be looking for a little bit of a more comfortable lead.
Well, I'd imagine that they won't want to put the wolf in. They did have a little bit of a lackluster performance, and when you have 6 players, you get that opportunity when even if one of your players is having a worse game, a worse day to play SSBU, there's more people to kind of be able to fill that role for them. But right now, it really is seeming like NM Warriors has completely switched around how they were playing it. It's the King DDD to just destroy Blackford Varsity. 113% already found. 2 more good hits could potentially be able to secure something, but looks like both players going to be weary of those cannonballs, but looks like still the little bit of a engagement coming out. Scrappy fights, and there's gonna be the up grab, trying to get some more. Not gonna be able to capitalize on the King DD just yet, but the ball going through the roof.
It's going very, very close. I mean, when you get down to these percentages, you both are just looking for that final hit. And with the heavies as well, center stage is the right place to do it. But the cannonball, great block out. Both connect and both miss, but another cannonball shot. You're going to try to stop, and you find it yet again. I believe IHSEN has done that twice now. And you are going to get the stock instead. And now this DDD is like, dang, that really just happened. Quick spit out. You only get a little extra damage, and you aren't able to really follow up. And you try and swing hard, but it doesn't work. This is devastation for Giga, who has done actually quite well for themselves. Finally gets the back here and is able to trade out, but you still have 45 on your stock right now.
Look at this. This is strong. This is good. But the King TDD still in a little bit of a rough position. 110% found out. Let's see if they can do anything good over aggression being called out from the King TDD. Right now, they're still not going to be able to get much, but this counteracting of the aggression from the Blackford Varsity, they're looking so good right now, NM Warriors. That's a good hit, forcing out the shield, and after that forced out shield, they're just going to completely dive right on in, and the attack from the hammer from the high ground. Still, despite them being at 100-0, they're looking really strong, able to keep up the pressure, and they're barely alive by a hair.
Oh, but they air dodge into the cannonball, which means that this recovery is going to be a little bit tough. You're at 166. You don't like to be here, but we've seen miracles happen for NM Warriors before. It looks like they're going to try it one more time. You get a good chance to try and swing with the side tilt, but it's not really going to work. Quick spit out of that spike ball, and there's going to be the punch. Great fallback for IHSEN to go ahead and take that stock. Of course, now at 90, it's going to be a little bit of a test to not lose that next, because you do want to enter into the final player here in good standing. Good spike on the way down. Not going to finish, but it's enough to put a little bit of an eye on this DDD.
Oh, yeah, they really thought they were the NM Warriors King K rule with that spike. Unfortunately, it's just too little to get that final spike, pushing them into the void. 123% found. One good hit. One good shot. But right now, it's just not found out. There's some really good ranged attacks and diving straight on into the engagement. Still Blackford Varsity keeping up the pressure, but when the pressure gets the worst, that's when diamonds are found. Able to connect some ranged attacks once more. The Crown's going to be able to counteract, and that might be it. But no, despite the strong slap, it's still going to be evened up. Grab comes through. Still alive. 176. But they're still going to be able to get back on top. Utilizing that up. Looking to get even more. But still, NM Warriors with some great ledge holding. But not going to be enough.
It's going down to the absolute limit. Good shield hold coming out from IHSEN. You know this is going to be a little bit of a test. Great spike to drop down to clear the edge as well. And it's going down into one-touch territory. You swing over and you might have found it, but again, no launch on that strike. The tilts don't always work. The forward tilt isn't always favorable, but yet the up smash does. That was actually an up tilt instead, but you answer back with a quick back air, forward air actually, as that is going to be the finish. IHSEN going ahead and hanging on to their last stock, but my gosh, was it not easy.
Oh my gosh, IHSEN to take the final hit, but NM Warriors, they were able to limit the bleeding. Only one stock remaining for IHSEN. Will they be able to hold on? Will they be able to take the lead? This is the final player. We're about to see the King K. Rool matchup most likely. As we can remember, last time NM Warriors, they had a difficult time playing into this matchup in that mirrored. So I don't know whether or not Blackford Varsity is going to pull out that wolf in that final, but if you let this King K. Rool of NM Warriors get down to 1 stock remaining, that could be exactly what will help you get to this final.
Yeah, this is a very, very difficult moment, I think, overall for them to really watch for. If you send the wolf, it's going to be difficult, but at the same time, you could have a different character in the back pocket. For Daniel, maybe you go to a secondary. Maybe wolf isn't your main. Maybe you just want to open with the wolf, which could very well be the thing, but we are going to get a little bit of a dance in there. It's going to be the King K. Rool at the end, yet another King K. Rool moment. So King K. Rool to end it either way.
NM Warriors backs against the wall when it comes to this second set, but right now they have 3 stocks, 3 chances, 3 moments in time that will allow them to get this final win. 1 stock remaining. Blackford Varsity, can they do it?
I think they can. I mean, you don't want to send out Daniel. You want to make sure you try and end it here, so any sort of advantage is good. Kame is going to try and do their own work here. Original color on the King K. Rool. A little bit styling, saying, I am the reason. And unfortunately, you might be in a little bit of a mishap here. Isaac running very, very well right now. And saying, hey, we're going to take that advantage. But of course, the percentages are up, so this could be a difficult spot to be in. 74 is not anything to snuff at here. Good little chase, both using that super armor well, but a big clap back gives a little bit of an extra chance over to the likes of Kame. Kame really wants to try and fight back, but I think for Isaac, or actually Isaac there in the main colors. I do apologize. I was double checking who is who. A little bit of a low gun, not going to work as the crown continues to go out.
As we remember, Kame did have a very difficult time in this mirror. So, I mean, I don't hate the fact that they're in a bad position, but they make me eat my words. 145%. It doesn't matter. The pressure got on, but it just let them completely ruin Blackford Varsity's lead. 3-3 with a player who made every chance happen.
Right now, that was huge, but now we get to see that final pick come out here in NM on the cusp of possibly making a miraculous upset here. Blackford could be out at the quarterfinals after having a bye in the round of 16. Meta Knight, though, a wild twist here. Yet another character that doesn't really have great traditional launches, but has a lot of innate damage. Maybe trying to rule on top of King K. Rool here.
Final game of the second set. We're seeing potentially a new player. Oh, it's Daniel coming back. Were they the? They were the.
They were the wolf. This is what we were talking about. Having a chance at being a little bit of a breakout there, but again, Meta Knight is such a weird and unique pickup here, and I'm very worried that it's a little bit too light.
I'm in the same position as you are here, and especially if you're a Wolfman. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but having that second pickup being a Meta Knight is a little bit interesting as your second main. I mean, I already don't know if this is the comfort pick for them due to this kind of big lead that's already been gained, but it seems like they're able to kind of keep it up, able to get 25% onto Daniel early on, or not Daniel, sorry, it's going to be Kame, who's going to have that big lead, and Daniel, they've already kind of ruined this start, but okay, the belly flop's going to come right on in, able to get him down onto the ledge! Oh. And the domination comes through. A stellar start to game number 2, or I guess the final set number 2. Like, look at this. It's amazing. 65% is going to be gained, but 70% as a tank, that's basically 0.
I mean, that's so real. Not only that, you have that extra stock in value, so it doesn't really matter to you. You're saying, hey, I'm playing on extra time once again, and I've already overcome that barrier. Daniel is not having the greatest of time. You get a great neutral here to try and force this King K. Rool out, but a great DI brings you right back in. It's another stock gone, and NM Warriors are 1 stock away from taking it, and they lose only 1, but they still have 2 to play with.
Well, we're already seeing Daniel do a little bit more than the Isabel was able to do. Secure 1 stock onto this amazing player in Kame. And let's see, will Kame be able to finish it out with 2 stocks remaining? secure their upset win. Biggest upset of the playoffs. In the middle school or high school league, we have not seen anybody be able to beat a seed 8 spots ahead of them, sorry. And, they already did it once before, doing it against the 8th seed, but 9th versus 8th, it's not nearly as big as 9 versus 1.
This is outlandish, this is chaotic, and honestly, it just might have been a missed call by Blackford. I am very curious how this is playing out, but right now, they are on the cusp, 95% and counting. This is out of control. And they wanted, the King K. Rool wants to put the crown, the finishing touches on their kingdom. They want all the bananas if they can. And if they can pick it up, they'll be so happy about it. Yet another propeller to bring themselves up a little bit higher. Shot rings out with the cannonball, but 104 and then some. You can see the King K. Rool not even worried. There's the grab. It is over. NM Warriors C9 upset Blackford Varsity Smash.
Look at that! NM Warriors securing their semifinalist position. And it's so upsetting for Blackford Varsity because imagine you came into this playoff #1 seed, getting the bye, being just comfortable in every single way, but it just didn't matter. That's exactly why it's Blackford Varsity falling short in the end. NM Warriors, the team to do it. 9th seed goes on to semis. Let's see if they can do even more later on in the playoffs.
I mean, that was stellar work. And as you said, I mean, now they got the Cinderella story. Now they have that kind of the Cinderella buff on them saying, we are knocking people out left and right, and they will continue to do so. So I'm very excited to see what more they can do, as you stated. But some of these players, I mean, they're playing out of their minds, and I'm for sure going to be looking at them if they reach the collegiate circuit. Now, if you are also someone that is looking to try and get into esports in college, there is a way now to search through hundreds of collegiate esports programs to see where they're at, what games they play, and even what majors are offered. LOS Portal or League OS Portal is an amazing engine, and all you have to do is go to portal.leagueos.gg to look up IEN students who can manage their own prospect profiles, where all their stats are automatically updated match over match. There are scholarships out there for players as well as shoutcasters, social media managers, and more, so make sure to put and add all of your talents to your profile itself. Just like these players saying, hey, we just upset the first seed. Verified college esports coaches are searching LOS Portal now for promising prospects and reaching out to the ones that they like. And of course, LOS Portal is free for students. Don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level. Much like, of course, we saw Kame do here at the final game.
I mean, as you said, League OS, if people are searching for you, Kame is definitely the person to be sought. I mean, I don't know about you, Orbital, but this game, my MVP, for sure. Kame had a dominant Series 1, an even more absurd Series 2. I don't even know what to say. That was just completely and utterly insane every single step of the way.
Yep, it was impressive to say the least, and honestly, I really hope to see even more of them. Again, this is a squad that just knocked out the first seed, and like you pointed out, the anchor for this NM Warriors side is a warrior in D. Now, of course, that'll be it for us here on the day, at least for this broadcast, Cherry. So it was very, very fun to work with you here today. Of course, my name is Ordo. We had some amazing production members on the back end as well. As always, we had Connie as well as Taylor, both running our show and giving us all the action to be seen on the screen. So thank you so much to them. Shout out once again to all of our sponsors here, Zotac, Landfest, as well as League OS. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Internet Esports Network for this SSBU matchup, and we will see you all next time.